Welcome to my channel, Omagnas Batman. This is the official 500th video that I've released on my channel. But for this, I have to come back and review one of my last anticipated movies of 2020, and that is Wonder Woman 84. Wonder Woman 84 is a new movie directed by Patty Jenkins, and she returns because she directed the first movie, and this film stars Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, Pedro Pascal, Kristen Wiig, and this film takes place in the 80s and is about Wonder Woman's conflict with Maxwell Lord and Cheetah. That's all I gotta say about the synopsis because this is an experience that you have to go see. Me personally, I'm a huge fan of the DCEU. I absolutely love the first movie. They did a good job of interlining the dark grit tone of the DCEU implied to that film, like such as the No Man's Land or the scene where she was fighting Ares. There's some very good impactful moments in the first movie. So going into the second movie, there's going to be among fans a little bit of expectation for the second film to surpass the first film. I left theater a little bit just conflicted at times because I had to really figure out what I'm going to say on video. And I gotta tell you that Wonder Woman 84 is an ambitious movie. It is a very good film, but I will go do all that in a sense. So here are the pros. I absolutely love Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot is just a goddess. And one thing about that with her character in this movie is this movie did a really good job of making the Wonder Woman character vulnerable. And in the first movie, you know, in the other DCU films, we see Wonder Woman, she's a badass, she's over the top OP, you know, she's very powerful. She got slapped in the face by Doomsday and is able to walk it off with a smile on the face sexually. And also Chris Pine comes back, he reprises his role, Steve Trevor. I'm not going to go into full details of how did he return because we saw him die in the first movie. Those of you who haven't seen this first movie, that's a spoiler alert, so if you haven't seen the first movie, oh well. I like the idea how they was able to incorporate that within this film. I didn't have any huge issues with that. Chris Pine definitely did a fantastic job of just giving out a good delivery, but there's a lot of like great character moments in this movie, like the chemistry between Gal Gadot and Chris Pine, the Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor. It is just remarkable. It is 10 times better than the first movie. The chemistry definitely grows and evolves. We learn more about Wonder Woman's vulnerability and how her psyche works, her mindset. Patty Jenkins did a really good job of directing this movie. This movie was well shot, and it was brighter in tone than from the first movie because the first movie had a little bit of darker colors because the first movie had a little grit to it. But for this movie right here, this movie had a bright, colorful tone. It's upbeat and it's positive. Has like a positive message, and I absolutely love the cinematography, love the visuals, crisp and clean. The action sequences was spectacular. You know, Patty Jenkins did a really good job of incorporating the slow-mo aspect to her directional style, similar to Zack Snyder. Absolutely love that slow-mo like we've seen in 300. We've seen in all other Zack Snyder films. Patty Jenkins did a really good job of incorporating that into this film, which I was just at all because I'm a huge fan of Zack Snyder. From the outside characters, the villain Maxwell Lord, Pedro Pascal plays Maxwell Lord. He did a fantastic job of playing the villain. The character development for Maxwell Lord was fleshed out in the first act. And one thing I like about this character was he was relatable. There is times in this movie where he seems relatable, and it gave me a reason to care for this villain. And I thought that from a writing standpoint, that was definitely did a good job. Kristen Wiig did a fantastic job playing Cheetah. I gotta say that the look, the design of Cheetah was perfect, just like the comics. She had some funny moments in this film. There's a lot of funny moments in this movie, but I gotta say that probably the one thing that I really like about it was the moral aspect. In this movie, there's some things in this film that I really like, such as there's things that you want in life, and there's things that you tend to want more than what you already have. And the film does a good job of developing that, of making that the forefront of its story. Is the things that people desire. Like there's things that people want, but you want more than what you already have, and then selfishness comes in, and then it sort of sabotages the other people's psyche and negative context because of you just have this one thing you just want, you just desire, and you want to, and you gotta have it. It does delves deep into that, and I absolutely love that aspect of the film. And like I said before, this film had a lots of character moments. There's one particular character moment that I think that audience will love, where, you know, she's in the clouds. So Wonder Woman, there's a scene where Wonder Woman's in the clouds. I think that DC fans would get a kick-ass vibe from that sequence, and I accidentally was just clapping in the theater. I was literally, I lost my mind, because I was like, are they gonna do that? Are they gonna do that? Oh, whoa, they actually did it! They actually did it! And as for the flaws with this movie, there's not a lot of particular flaws in this movie, but I have to say that I was getting Amazing Spider-Man 2 vibes watching this movie. And because of Christian Wiig's character, Cheetah, I thought that Cheetah did a very good job with her action sequences, but from a writing standpoint, I feel like she was shoehorned for fan service. Like, her character didn't really get fleshed out. There wasn't much development for character, and the reasoning of her becoming a villain, Cheetah, didn't make sense from a writing standpoint, and it just reminded me a lot of Jamie Foxx's character Electro in Amazing Spider-Man 2. I don't want to go in full details of that. If I do a spoiler, I'll go in depth. And the other thing with this movie is not much of a huge flaw, but just not a lot of action sequences in this film. This film is like pretty much like a love letter to the character, the character of Wonder Woman. It focuses on the aspect of the character. It doesn't really focus on the brute, the strength. It focuses on the emotional level of Wonder Woman, her vulnerability. It focused heavily on that, which I absolutely love. You can almost say it's like a character study of the character Wonder Woman, of her character. It delves deep within the morality of each character more than the action sequences, and I actually absolutely like that aspect. Now, some fans are not going to like the third act because it's not really action heavy. It's more dialogue heavy, but for me, I like that. I like the personal struggle, you know, verbally between two characters, the emotional turmoil between the character and them and things in that nature. I like that. But for this movie, overall, this film is just a good movie. It's not great. It doesn't surpass the first movie, only due to the fact that it's ambitious, but it just doesn't really. After leaving the theater, it just kind of mind boggled me a few times where I was just pointing a few things I didn't really care for, and then there's like threads where I was like, okay, that didn't really make sense. Okay, that didn't really make sense. Okay, that didn't really make sense. But overall, this movie is still a good movie. A slight disappointment from the first, but you will still be entertained. The first movie is special as well, but this movie is not as special as the first movie. That's pretty much what I'm trying to say, but you will still get a kick-ass time. A great entertainment for the family, and definitely, so I'm going to have to give Wonder Woman 84 a Christian Bale Batman. That is the second highest rating on my channel. Definitely a must buy on Blu-ray, and you can watch this movie in the theater, or you can stay safe and watch this movie at home on HBO Max. So just pay $15. I believe it's $14.99 or $15.99. I'm not too sure. Just pay that money, and therefore you have a plethora of great content, including Wonder Woman 84. So what are your thoughts of Wonder Woman? Did you like Wonder Woman 84? Did you like the first one? Did you like the second one? Let me know. Comment your thoughts below and let's talk about it, and I'll see you guys in my next review. And if you like everything you see and you agree, subscribe to my channel and join me in the Batman family. I'll have more Batman-tastic reviews in the way. You have been warned. Till then,